Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamu alaikum. I hope you all are well and sound. You're watching my YouTube channel BCP Synergy. This is lecture number 2 for the subject of physics. In today's lecture, we are going to study about derived physical quantities in detail. In the last lecture, we have studied about physics, physical quantities and measurement. What we have studied in physics, we had firstly defined physics, that what is physics? It is the study of matter, energy and their mutual relationship. We study three things in physics. We study about matter, energy and how matter can be converted into energy and energy into matter. Then we have studied the importance of physics, and it can be identified by the role of physics in technology. And we have also studied about the branches of physics. There are many branches of physics. Physics is divided into its branches because its knowledge becomes so vast that it was divided into different branches in order to study it more appropriately and in detail. Then we have started the first chapter, that is physical quantities and measurement, where we have studied that what are physical quantities. These are the quantities which are measurable. There are two types of physical quantities: base physical quantities and derived physical quantities. Then we have also studied about the SI system that was formed in 1960 in Paris, where a set of units, 7 units, they were declared to be the standard, and other all physical quantities were derived from those 7 base physical quantities. This is the recap of last lecture. We have studied base physical quantities in detail in last lecture, and today we are going to study about derived physical quantities in detail. Let's define derived physical quantities again. These are the types of physical quantities which are not fundamental. They are the product or quotient of some other physical quantities. And what are those some other physical quantities? They are the base physical quantities which either multiply or divide to give derived physical quantities. Those quantities which are defined in terms of other physical quantities, or you can say base physical quantities, are called as derived quantities. For example, area, volume, density and velocity. Now, if a quantity is derived from some other physical quantity, its unit must also be derived from some other units. So you can say that derived units are those units which are derived from base units. For example, meter square, it is the unit of area and it is derived from the units of base physical quantity. Then meter cube is the unit of volume. It is also derived from the unit of some other base physical quantity. Then kilogram per meter cube, it is the unit of density and it is also derived from the base units. Meter per second, it is the unit of velocity. It is also derived from some other base units. This table presents some derived quantities which are area, volume, density, velocity, acceleration, force, energy or work. Then there are types of energy that are kinetic energy and potential energy. These all quantities are derived quantities and their units are also derived units. If we talk about area, it is the product of length and length. When a length is multiplied with itself twice, then the resulting quantity is area. You can see that area is the product of length and length, right? It means that area is a derived quantity. While when meter is multiplied with itself twice, then the resulting unit is meter square, which is the unit of area and it is derived unit. Volume, it is the product of length when it is multiplied with itself thrice. And same is the case with its unit, that is meter cube. When meter is multiplied with itself thrice, then the resulting unit is meter cube. Multiplication or division of the base quantities are the evidence that these quantities, either area, volume, density, these are the derived quantities. Velocity is the quotient of length and time. When length is divided onto time, or you can say that displacement is divided onto time, then the resulting quantity is velocity. Its unit is meter per second and it is also a derived unit. Acceleration is equal to time rate of change of velocity. So velocity is itself a derived quantity. You can see that its base quantities are length and time. And when length divided onto time is whole divided onto time, the resulting quantity is acceleration. And same is the case with its derived unit, that is meter per second square. That when meter per second is divided onto second, the resulting unit is meter per second square, which is the unit of acceleration, and it is a derived unit. Moving towards force, force is equal to mass into acceleration. Acceleration is a derived quantity and mass is base quantity. When mass is multiplied with acceleration, then the resulting quantity is force, which is a derived quantity, and its unit is also derived unit, that is kilogram meter per second square. Kilogram is the unit of mass, meter per second square is the unit of acceleration. The formula for energy is force into displacement, or you can say force into length. Force is a derived quantity. It is the product of mass and acceleration, while acceleration is the quotient of velocity and time, and velocity is a quotient of length and time. Unit of force is kilogram meter per second square. When it is multiplied with meter, that is the unit of length, right? According to the formula, when these units are multiplied, then the resulting unit is kilogram meter square per second square, right? So it is a derived unit. Kinetic energy and potential energy also have the same unit, that is kilogram meter square per second square, which is the derived unit. From this table, we can conclude that derived units are obtained by multiplying or dividing base units with each other. Derived units can be expressed in terms of base units. If you are given with a derived quantity and you are asked to find its base units and base quantities, then how is it possible? Let's take the example of force. If you are aware of the formula of force, then you can easily find its base quantities and base units. The formula of force is mass into acceleration. Firstly, you have to simplify its formula until and unless all the quantities in formula are base physical quantities. So mass is a base physical quantity while acceleration is a derived physical quantity, which means that you have to simplify this formula. Then we can say that force is equal to mass into velocity divided onto time. Because acceleration is the time rate of change of velocity, we have put velocity divided onto time instead of acceleration. Now here we can see that mass is a base quantity, time is a base quantity, but still velocity is a derived quantity, which means that we have to further simplify this formula. Then we can say that force is equal to mass into displacement divided onto time whole divided onto time. Displacement divided onto time is the formula for velocity. Now we can say that mass is a base physical quantity, displacement is a base physical quantity, and time is also the base physical quantity. Hence, we have concluded that the base physical quantity for force are mass, displacement, and time. Now we have to find the base units for force. What are the base units for force? For finding them, we must know the base unit of all these base physical quantities. The base unit for mass is kilogram, for displacement is meter, as displacement is a type of length, while for time it is second. But if we are talking about time square, then its unit will be second square. Hence, force is equal to kilogram meter per second square. So this is how we have understood that what are derived quantities, what are derived units, and how we are able to find the base units and base quantities for any derived physical quantity. It is possible if you are aware of the formula for that derived physical quantity. I hope you understand this lecture. Thank you.